Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you something that I am definitely more familiar with than pretty much any offer that I've ever put out, because this is one that I actually do on a day-to-day basis. Now, I've released videos like this before, but today I'm actually going to show you how to find investors and close deals through cold email. Now, a lot of founders might have been sending cold emails for months and never getting a single response back. Or maybe they do get some responses, but it never really feels like a good fit. Or if it is a good fit, you're only getting maybe 5 of those meetings throughout the period of time that you've been doing it. And you're thinking to yourself, Alex, how the heck can I do this better? The reality is, though, the 1% of founders that are actually raising money using this methodology are not just having better pitches or doing better presentations necessarily, but they're actually using an investor outreach system that guarantees them meetings. My team has helped people raise over $400 million, and we do a lot of it through mass outreach to investors globally. This outreach system gets as much as 5 to 10% response rates while we sleep. And this is the exact methodology that I use in my capital advisory firm, Savvy Capital. For the most part, the problem is not your pitch, it's actually your outreach systems. You're not getting in front of enough investors or the right investors at all. While you might be sending 20 emails a week, my team is ramming through thousands of emails every single day in order to get to the decision makers that matter in the institutional investment firms that matter. Once again, fundraising is not even about crafting the perfect cold email. It really is about being able to run this at scale. At the end of the day, raising money from investors is the same as any other sales mechanism. It is truly a numbers game, and that is what we've gotten very, very good at. In today's video, I'm breaking down the exact systems that have helped my clients get in front of top tier VCs. We're talking Goldman Sachs's corporate VC. We're talking Y Combinator. We're talking Andreessen Horowitz Capital. We're talking Sequoia Capital, all of the major VCs in the world. From building investor databases internally and being able to then use the mass outreach systems that we've created in-house in order to reach investors at scale, allowing your opportunity to hit the inboxes of thousands of investors daily right in their inbox. This is quite literally the blueprint to my 8-figure investment bank. So grab a notebook and lock in. Okay, so this is mass outreach that actually works. Scale is everything in deal sourcing. The old way, this one-by-one calling people that know somebody whose uncle is in venture capital, it's dead, okay? These guys are getting inundated with so many pitches every single day. You are never going to get in front of the right person through those kinds of mechanisms. The other thing I've seen is guys that are like search funders sending 20 emails a day from their analysts. I've even seen investment banks doing this. It's trying to do it at scale with analysts, once again, sending 20 emails a day. The reality is this simply does not work anymore. The one caveat to this that I don't want you to get mistaken about is that this is not simply ramming emails at scale randomly. Okay, this is about precision, surgical, targeted mass outreach. In order to do this, you want to be leveraging databases that have tens of thousands of investors in them. You can use databases like PitchBook, Crunchbase, Preqin, CapIQ, Apollo, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you name it, you want to be using it. You want to be pulling as much of this data together as possible, making sure that it's accurate and is hitting the right people, but that you have the scale necessary to get the kinds of meetings that we're talking about today. The thing that many people don't understand is that automation is going to be your unfair advantage here. So by having automated inboxes, automated categorization, and automated scripts that pull the right information, it's going to equal a funding machine. The nice thing about setting up this infrastructure is that you set it up one time, you run the emails, and then you can sit back and you take the actual meeting. This isn't something that you're going to have an analyst do day by day by day. You can sit back, create it, and then let it run while you actually take the meetings. I'm gonna start sharing screen and show you guys exactly how to run this copy. So you guys can actually copy and paste this for whatever purpose you want. So, hey name, okay? And this is after you get the data, you're gonna wanna build out these kinds of emails. Is company name interested in sector? Your company name, so whatever your company name is, put it here, your company name. Let's just call your company for this sake Wayne Enterprises is, and then you want to give a short description of your company. So maybe you're a early stage tech company, is changing how people use, or is changing the landscape of, sector, in this example, let's say AI, once again, just as an example, but get granular about what it is. So, maybe it's of law firm AI. And then in this line, in the second line, you're going to do like high level achievement. Okay, so this could be profit amount that you made. This could be early signups that you have. This could be number of users. This could be number of assets. Okay, high level achievement, one line. So in this case, let's say Wayne Enterprises has already increased law firm efficiency for 10 law firms by 75%, saving them over $5 million in 12 months. And then you can put the ask in here so that when you reach that person, they see it. And if you're asking for like a $2 million check, then they'll ignore it if it's not interesting. But for me, the key to these emails is kind of what they talk about in how to win friends and influence people. Like you want this to be as much about the investor. How can they benefit? What will they get as possible? And so a lot of times I won't put what the ask is. I kind of just keep it high level on like, hey, this is a great company, and open with, is your company investing in this sector? So the first thing they read, and they think to themselves, yeah, we are investing in law firm AI. We are investing in corporate artificial intelligence, that kind of stuff. So again, get granular with that sector, and then make sure that you pull good lists so that the people reading it, the first thing they think to themselves is, yes, I am doing that, yes. And then the second thing you're gonna wanna say is, would this be worth a chat, right? Or the last thing. And then it's just thanks, signature, right? If you're offering them some sort of really great benefit, like, right now we're raising at this round and we already have people lined up for the next round at a higher valuation, mention that. If you're offering them, hey, we're raising at this valuation, but you also get a warrant at this valuation, mention that. So if there are things that are inherently beneficial to the investor, make sure that you mention them in the email. A lot of the time for these early stage companies, you just might not have thought that far ahead in terms of how you're structuring the actual offering. So it might not be relevant. So I'm not going to include it here. I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. Then the next thing I would say, so that's your first email. Then your second email would just be something like, hey, name, is company still interested in corporate artificial intelligence companies? Or interested in profitable corporate artificial intelligence companies? When would be best to chat? And you're noticing that these are getting slowly shorter, right? By the third email, by the third follow-up email, you're basically just saying, hey, name, did you see my above emails? Thanks, signature, right? So that's kind of high level how you would run these. Now, the other thing that you're gonna wanna do here is make sure that you spin tax this so that it gets by anything that would otherwise be an issue, i.e. Spam filters. So you just drag and drop that into spin tax, baby. I'll probably put that in the description as well for you guys. And then you have the spin tax copy, which is really helpful because that basically creates a number of different variations of the same thing. The other thing that you're going to want to run is subject lines. You're going to want to keep these as short and succinct as possible, and also make sure that they grab the reader's attention. So on something like this, I would say something like corporate AI, uppercase company name, or subject to, you could say something like name of the person that you're reaching out to, opportunity, or even better, if you really want to get tricky with it, name attention, something like that, where it's just really, they're going to see that subject line, they're going to be like, oh shoot, I'm going to read it. The closer you can get to them thinking that they're getting a bill collector on their ass, the better the email is going to perform. So you ran the spin tax, you're going to copy this spin tax, and you'll put it in here, and then you'll run the spin tax for all of the other emails, for the second email and for the third email, okay? So so that they're all spin text. So then what you want to do is you want to hop into something like smartlead.ai, and you'll see here it already has set up on it it is already tracking positive replies automated. So you do want to make sure that you have that. You upload your files into here. You run your sequences, your subject lines through here. Make sure that you're inserting the variables where I just have in brackets name. And then you do the same thing in the subject line as well. Pretty straightforward. You set this up. You put in your subject line, put in your actual name or your files, and then you put this in. Now, I'll show you guys on a pre-built campaign so you can see the steps. So you come into something like this. You already have your leads imported. Boom. You have your sequences. You'll see I use this exact formula. Would company name be able to provide / offer acquisition financing? And then here's a little bit about the acquisition financing. So then you upload your sender accounts. You would get these from Thor's Hammer. So 761 sender accounts means that you can send roughly 5,000 emails per day, a little bit more. Then you schedule the campaign out, make sure that you're running it in Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Max number of new leads a day, 6,000. Like I said, a little bit over 5,000 there. Make sure that you're running with sending emails in plain text without HTML, follow-ups 50%, new leads 50%, and then you use the IntelliCategorize replies for Smart Leads AI. Now, there is more that you can do here in terms of AI optimization. So you could run what's called GPT for Sheets. And if you guys want to see a video specifically about how to run cold email with something like GPT for Sheets, where you can set up specific AI categorization, not AI categorizations, where you can set up specific AI first lines or AI descriptors so that you can really speak to the person based on their LinkedIn profile, based on the company website, based on previous deals that are listed on the company's website, all that kind of stuff. I could show you guys how to do that in another video. I will be honest with you though, the marginal additional effort that it takes generally is not worth it, in my personal opinion. Now, one of the most important things to remember when doing this is that you are going to want to be really heavy on your follow-up game. That is where the money is really made. So people will come back, they'll say things like, hey, I'm interested, or even, hey, I'm not interested. And what you can do oftentimes is either reach back out to them and figure out why they're not interested, which could end up converting a lot of people, or the people that are interested, convert them to a phone call as soon as possible. It's always easier to sell somebody if they're on the phone with you. If you're just trying to go back and forth over email, it's really difficult for you guys to actually convert consistently. Then, if you guys want to know exactly how to go through that sales process, I'm going to give you this video right here. I go through exactly how you have these calls with investors in order to make sure that you're actually closing as a founder or as a licensed broker. So I recommend that you check out that video as well. So if you made it this far into the video and you're a later stage company, not necessarily a startup, then you should reach out to my company, Savvy Capital, and we can help you guys raise and do not just what I've laid out here, but help you build out your VDR, help you actually go to market and do the sales process for you guys. If you are a guy that's looking to get into finance using these kinds of systems, I would definitely recommend checking out my capital advisory program, which I've dropped down below for you to get started as a broker and get licensed in the market today. There are realistically people as young as 16 using these exact same systems in order to generate appointments with investors, in order to close investor capital, and even raise money for their startups. So do not let this being a new concept to you throw you off. Make sure that you click one of the links in my bio, whether that be Savvy Capital for a later stage company or Capital Advisory for a guy that's looking to get into this industry. And as always, I'm Alex Astry, and this is how you can make your first millions.